Hi Stampers, happy Video Friday. So I'm excited to be here today to do a very cool card using the new Butterfly Brilliance. And I am actually had been creating a card, a white on white card. I did bring a little bit of pink into it because I wanted to make it a birthday card, and I have a special person I want to send it to, and she loves pink. So I went with Melon Mambo as my accent color. So I'm happy that this evening we'll be doing Facebook Live. If you want to, it's actually a mystery stamping. So if you want to participate, then you need to bring with you some product. And if you could just see my table right now, it's crazy full of product. And a little bit of a craft-a-lanch on that side. Hopefully this side looks a little more organized. So these are the products that you would need to bring tonight, okay? So if you want to do a screenshot of that, I've published this before, so it shouldn't be anything new. But at 5 p.m., we'll be doing a Facebook Live. We'll be making a card tonight. And if you participate in the Facebook Live, you will be entered in a drawing for the 19 cards. These are all celebration cards, and they're going to be going to someone who gets their name drawn tonight at the end of the Facebook Live. So that being said, you don't have to stamp, but you can just watch and be entered. Okay, so you just need to say hello, or I'm here, or whatever, hi Trevis, whatever. Okay, so that's this evening. But today, the card we're going to be making, as I said, I'm going to be using the new butterfly bouquet. Excited about these butterflies. I am, there's that sticker I've been looking for. Hello. Too late. I mounted the stamp set today, and then the dies are amazing. So I think before I said there was 10 dies. That's wrong. There's 12 dies, which I realized once I was putting them into the case. There are 12 dies. One of them is huge, and the rest are just normal size dies. So, and then there's the paper. I'm actually not going to use the paper today. I actually could have used the paper today, but I wanted to go ahead and stamp the butterfly in the card. So I am going to start stamping. It's going to be a little bit of a long video because there's a lot of pieces to it. Okay, so hopefully you'll hang in there. Hope you had a great week, and I'm excited because last weekend I actually got to hook up with a friend who she's from Iowa now, and her mom. So Cindy and Winetta, I'm happy that we got together for a quick chat and made my day last weekend. So excited that we stay connected. Stampin' Up! People are just that way. We just love each other, and we just stay connected through the years. So anyway, just wanted to mention that. A shout out to them because I love them. So, okay, let's get started. Okie dokie. Okay, if you're interested in this product I'm going to be using, you can order it on my website. And this is my website right here. This is the hostess code that is good until tomorrow. So if you use this hostess code and you order the suite, the whole suite is $71.25. You will get a free product from me. There's 3 options. We have the ribbon. I already mentioned this before. I'll just mention it again. We have the ribbon, we have the butterfly gems, and we also have the square doilies. So those 3 options I think would play well with this suite, and you could pick whichever one you want. So if you use my hostess code and on my website, you'll get whichever one of those 3 you'd like. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is show you the dies. So I think I've showed you this before. You get this big giant die, which we're going to use today. Oops, something just fell off my table. Oh, dimensionals. And we have the rest of the dies. I mentioned there's 12 total. So we have all of these dies. And then there's one more that I'm going to cut out to make this card. Okay. So amazing bundle. And oh, this is the die I'm going to use today. as my focal point of my card. I'm going to actually cut this out on the cut and emboss, and I'm going to cut it out of vellum. The first thing I want to do is put a little, I'm going to do this before I cut it out. Actually, it's easier. So I'm going to use a little of our Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to add a little bit of this. It doesn't have to be a lot. I'm just going to add a little shimmer. Okay. So this is an alcohol-based shimmer paint, and you want to shake it a little to get that stirred up. And I'm just going to add a little on there. I think it's a little dry. I think I might be due for, well, no, it's not. I think I just replaced it, so I don't think it's dry. I think it's just being finicky. I think that's plenty. Okay. All right, so losing my voice. I'm going to let that dry for a second. In the meantime, I'm going to bring over the the cut and emboss. I wonder if I'll always call this a big shot. And I have figured out, actually I watched a video and the girl was like, the best way to cut these details out of vellum is to use a piece of scrap behind it, and you're going to see how awesome this works. The first time I cut this out, I was like, oh, I had to poke all these little pieces out. I'm like, oh. And then I watched Anna Hellman's video, and I love her videos, and she said, just put a little piece of cardstock behind it, and you're going to see how much better it works. So I'm going to run this through the cut and emboss. Okay. All right. Now, when you lift this off, move this out of the way. I'm going to need it again. I'm going to do another cutting, a little bit of cutting. And then you separate these. All the pieces fall away. Most of them they fall away. They stick to the cardstock. You can use that too, but I'm not using it. So now you can see the detail of the butterfly, and you can see I put that little Wink of Stella on there, so she's got some shimmer going on. Okay. All right. So I'm done with this die now. I like to put my dies away quickly, so there's no chance of misplacing one. And look, nothing's stuck in there, so it's amazing. Love that. Okay. Now I am going to use the die, the big die right here, and I'm going to cut this out of white cardstock. Okay, so let's do that. Let's get rid of this. I think this is not necessary on my table right here. Okay, so you can see that my plates are getting very worn. I'm going to replace them soon. And they're not warped at all. Remember what I told you? Mark 1, keep on bottom. Your plates will not warp. You can flip them over and over, okay? But you keep that one always on the bottom. And then you can, that one is always the one that gets kind of scratched up. But, okay, so we're going to run this big die through. And now we're done with cut and emboss. So what's going to happen is, and I was kind of shocked the first time I did this, because I was like, is that how it's supposed to be? All the pieces are disconnected. I was kind of expecting it to all be in one piece, but it isn't. It's all, the butterflies are separate. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And I am going to need this one more time later. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take a half a sheet of white, thick white cardstock. So this is my cardstock base. I mean card base, sorry. And I'm going to take white multi-purpose glue, Tombow glue, And I'm going to stick these onto my card base. So I'm just going to take a little glue. That came out a little fast. Less is more. Very little. And I'm just going to stick these down. They hang over a little, no problem. We're going to fix that later. Okay. This one, I think I'm going to put up here. This one I'm going to put in the corner. I kind of like this white on white thing. Okay. Ooh, I don't want those. I didn't want those overlapping. I wanted those to stay separate. I want them to be separate, but next to each other. Let's do him up here. So I would, back in the day when I started stamping, you would never have made a white on white card. Would have been considered boring, but now it's trendy. I love that. And so now I'm going to turn this over and I'm just going to trim these off. So all that overhang goes away. It can be a little gluey on your scissors, which you can fix later. I just use Goo Gone periodically to clean all my scissors because there's always times when the scissors get glue, some kind of glue on them. Okay. Now, I have a white on white card with the butterfly background. Love it. Okay, so just make sure those are stuck down nicely. Okay, and now I'm just going to take a piece of our dotted white ribbon. So this is white tulle ribbon with the dots. And I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to tie a bow. Yes, I know you're laughing because sometimes my bows are a little crazy when I'm doing them on video. Let's see if we can do it. Especially with this sticky fingers I have. Is that gonna work? Yes, thank you. Yay. One side's a little bigger. We're gonna fix that. Perfect. Okay, so I have the tulle ribbon going down the top. This could be like an anything card. This could be a wedding card, it could be a birthday card, it could be a Mother's Day card, Easter card. Okay, so we got a good start. Okay, now get rid of these little sticky pieces that are sticking to my fingers. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to use the big stamp, and we're just going to use that with the Stamparatus, and we're going to stamp one of the butterflies. Okay, so I have the Stamparatus. I have the butterfly mounted to the plate. Okay, and so now what I want to do is, see if that's big enough, or do I need a bigger piece of cardstock? I think it'll work. Hang on a second. Let's use this. I think this will work. No, it won't. Where's my cardstock? Here it is. Okay, so I'm just going to put a piece of cardstock in. Like that. Is that going to work? Is that going to get in the way? Could get in the way. I'll put it on this side. Okay, then I'm going to use my Melon Mambo. I said I was going to bring in some pink. Melon Mambo stamp and spot. These are perfect for using your Stamparatus because you don't have that big pad, especially when you just want one butterfly. So I'm going to ink up this butterfly. Now, some people are cutting these apart. I personally am not going to do that. I like the fact that they're all together. I mean, I have the Stamparatus, so it's not a problem. Just stamping one at a time. that stays out of the way. Okay, so we're going to ink that up. So now this is the cling stamp. So it has the extra cushion there, so you don't need the foam pad. Okay. Now, I didn't ink very well, so just go back and ink up anything we missed. And I think that's just it right there. Get up and put a little pressure on that. Well, you know what? I bought an eraser. And I'll show you that in a minute. Maybe I'll show it in the next video. I got enough to show you today. Okay, look how perfect it is now. So that's the cool thing about a Stamparatus. The magnet holds the paper in place. The plate holds the stamp in place. You can ink it up, go back and forth several times, and it will not mess up. You try lining up a cling stamp without the Stamparatus. Probably not happening. Pretty tough. Okay, so that's a acrylic plate. So if I get ink on it, it's going to be easy to clean off with my chamois. Okay, so now what I want to do is I just want to cut out this butterfly. And that butterfly is right here. So one more time, I'm going to bring Cut and Emboss back. Glad I didn't send it off too far. I'm going to put this in, just like that. Easy line up. Put my plate on top. Well, easy to line up unless you move, Trevis. There we go. I think that's perfect. Ugh. Muscles. Come on, girl. You can do it. I don't have the strongest arms in the world. I really don't. So I had a broken arm. My right arm was broken in a car accident one time. And I found out I kind of have small bones. And unfortunately, my arms are not strong. Very strong. Okay, so I have the butterfly cut out. And I have the matching vellum to go on top. So what I want to do is I just want to put a little bit of glue right here on the body. Probably could have done a little less. But we're going to go with it. And we're just going to lay that on top. And we're going to let it dry. Okay. While that's drying, I'm going to stamp a saying for our card. And I'm actually using the Friends Are Like Seashells. This stamp right here, happy birthday to my beautiful friend. Love it. I love the font. I love the saying. I love everything about it. So I'm going to ink that up. And now this is photopolymer. So I have this mounted on a block. Just going to go ahead and use my spot that I have out. I'm going to stamp this right in the center. See? Isn't that a darling little saying? Now I'm going to jazz it up a little bit with my Lovely Labels PickAPunch. So I'm going to put it in like this. I always do it upside down. Yes, it's so much easier. And then the other end. So this is a cool punch because not only does it have the two different ends, but it also has these, you can make thin ones, thicker ones, middle ones, or thicker ones, and they will give you a different look, each one. Hope that makes sense. So that punch is still available. It's in the big catalog, in the annual catalog, and it's amazing. Okay, so now we have our little saying, some fancy ends, and luckily I have some more dimensionals because some fell on the floor. That's okay. We'll use these tiny ones. Okay, so we're going to put some dimensionals on the back. And I think this is, oh, it's still not dry. Put a little pressure on it and see if I can get it to dry quick. I think it's getting there. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is flip it over, put a few dimensionals on the back. I probably would prefer to use the big ones, but they are on the floor. And I don't feel like crawling around on the floor right now. So we're going to use the tiny ones. You know, it is what it is. Take the backs off. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to take that off for now. I think I put too much glue on there. It's just taking a long time to dry. So we're not going to fight it at the right at this moment. We're going to put that on in a second. Probably should have done it that way to start with. So now you can place this anywhere on your card that you want. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to put her over here, not in the way of the bow. And I'm going to put my saying down on the other corner. Just like that, even. Now I can take this and place it back where it belongs. Okay. Oh, I just love this card. I love the sparkly wings, the detail wings. I love the bow. I don't know. It's a very feminine card, and pink is my favorite color. So there's our card today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you can join me tonight for Facebook Live at 5 o'clock. Please try to join me. And like I said, bring the product with you and we'll do some mystery stamping. Okay? Great to talk to you all and have a great day. Thanks. Bye.